I'm not sure the current devs actually know how to present an API to end users for plugins. Really? True. Yeah, I don't know anything about LOTRO plugin stuff. You have to look into it one day. Who knows? We could. Yeah. I always like to learn by doing. So, I don't know if there was one day some wild like plugin idea we had. We can, you know, we can learn by doing. All right. Took coding back in 1994, so you're way more up to date than I am. Can still read a lot of code, but the new ways of doing things are beyond me. Yeah, true. It's a bit like I mean, look, like I'm not that. I think when people say like you're a programmer, they just assume like, oh, you know, computer science, IT, so you know like multiple languages and your back-end stuff, and you know like networking stuff. It's like all of that stuff doesn't interest me because like to me, I enjoy programming from a creative perspective. I like being able to create with it, and that's really it, you know? So all I need is a logic system. All I need is a system to devise logic, and I can create a game, you know? But yeah, most things like that, most external stuff, API stuff, package stuff is things that, you know, I just learn as I go with it. But even then, as in development, like I said, I did a lot of my programming in Unity. I don't like using assets. I really don't like using assets. I'm a stickler for using literally nothing. I code everything myself. Sometimes I'll find assets that I think are really interesting, and I'll look at the source code and I'll make my own version of it. Like, but I do not like to use anything pre-made like that because I learned from development that it's what destroyed projects for me. It's what made me lose understanding of what I was doing and cluttering and all that. It's just like, yeah, not understanding the back end of how something works properly, so then not being able to come in and iterate, and then getting stuck with like design decisions that I can't shift. Yeah, so doing it all from scratch has always been the way to go for me. Once I got comfortable enough with programming to just be able to like imagine a system and then just like sit there and just like code for a couple of hours and it would be done, and I'd test it and it would work and there'd be no bugs, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's the best joy when you get to a point like that, when you can just think of a little mechanic concept, you do all the things and you click run and it works, and you're like, wow, okay, yeah. I guess like to me that's knowing a language, you know? I think though it's impossible to be like fluent with any language in a lot of ways, but if you can get to that point, that's like, I think honestly it's like a very realistic and big milestone to get to, I think. I've watched a streamer who's developing the D tracker for LOTRO. Oh, that's cool. Who's doing that? The D tracker for LOTRO. Is that, I think I've seen some stuff like that with the interface, the layout. I'll be honest, like, I don't know if it's the one I saw, but there was one I saw that I didn't really like. But, yeah. I think it was a whole lot of different iterations that he was working on, right? You definitely know how to use APIs and interact with them if you've used Unity. I guess, yeah, but like, I don't understand, because Unity, it's all built into it, and it's not like things are like, I have to research about an API to understand it. So it's like, I guess maybe a lot of it is, but like I've never had to go any deeper than programming one language, you know? It's like, don't have to, yeah. But I mean, because like Unity is an API in itself, in a way, right? Ooh, I don't know. Plug in along on the official LOTRO Twitch channel. Okay. I've not tried vibe coding it because I know I'd look at the output and cringe. Yeah, I think the hey Ludo, thanks for the check-in. Welcome in, Ludo. I think vibe coding is like funny. It's fun. I think it's great. I think it's just hilarious. And it's kind of funny because it's like you can actually, I feel like you can, you know, put together some pretty interesting concepts because it's all just whatever you come up with, really. But I think at the end of the day, though, if you actually want to make something, you need to do it, mate. Like vibe coding isn't a realistic option to actually create a product, but super fun is like, you know, it doesn't really interest me to do it all myself, but I can see it'd be great. It'd be so much fun for people that have no interest in like learning coding or anything like that and just like want to try that, because like that's what when I was younger, that's what drove me to like want to do programming, is that I wanted to write choose your own adventure games. Like I was intrigued, like, you know, I had like a computer when I was younger and, you know, like a terminal and stuff, and, you know, my dad was like, you know, into those sort of text-based games when he was a kid, you know. And so I was like fascinated by that, and I found a book on learning Python through writing choose your own adventure games. And I learnt Python from that book through, you know, and just by making what you want. And so I guess that's kind of what fueled me on, like, by learning from doing, you know. And choosing your own adventure stuff was perfect because it's like you have to deal with choices and storage and location and all this stuff and all different types of variables, and so, you know, perfect thing to learn, I think, right? And that was when like we were doing like, what was it called? Scratch, I think it was called, like in like a high school. I don't know if anyone used any of that. Like it was called Scratch. There was like a program. It's like you drag and drop, like if this, drag drop, do this, and it was all puzzle pieces you'd put together, and it was like a sort of kid programming learning thing, but without any code. Like, but it's funny because that's literally just what Unreal is, right? That's what like Unreal is, and that's what like Godot is, and like it's just hilarious. You remember Scratch? Really? Yeah. Oh, I thought of Scratch. Yeah, it's like that little cat, right? Scratch the cat. I remember the cat. That's mostly what we had back in the late 80s, early 90s, text-based static image games. Yeah, and see, that's what I wanted to learn through that. Like, that's what fueled me to learn, was writing that. And then you know, things started, like, you know, yeah, the creativity unfolded, and I went down the route of learning programming and want to get into that world. But at heart, I'm just very creatively driven, you know? I went to what they call here in like Victoria in Australia, a Steiner school. Rudolf Steiner, he's a guy that like, I guess, put together like a curriculum for private schooling, and it's you know, the schooling's drama, music, arts focused more. So it's a bit less focused on tech stuff. So I actually went to school, one of these sort of schools like that, and I was super into technology and programming while still in a school. It was all about music and art and drama. I ended up leaving like late in high school, going elsewhere, but like I spent a lot of my life, you know, in that environment, even still enjoying coding. So, yeah. Makes sense. No wonder why everyone uses it. It's the game development for simpletons. I loved it. I remember having a great time with it. An API is literally just an interface presented to you by someone developing a product. Oh yeah, it is. Like API. What's it stand for? Yeah, true. No, you're right. Like the word the acronym API is just like anything that is what you do something inside is an API. Like there's even like a Python API. like that you can install, you know, that's just like Python with file save or whatever, right? So you make a game, you have a whole code base, the actual C# scripts of your game inheriting from model behavior and scriptable objects. Yeah, players then want to play your game and mod it, so you want to give them access to the source code and let them entirely change the source code of your game. Or do you want to make certain functions that allow them to do things like alter textures, change character speed, or whatever? The code you write to allow limited access for players to alter your game would be your API. Oh, okay, as well as that. I see what you mean, yeah. Yeah. Yep, so having to actually, like, build that into it. Unreal isn't just Blueprints. Blueprints is a portion of Unreal 5 meant to make it more accessible to non-coding devs. Most of the power of Unreal 5 lies in native C++ and the actual Unreal Engine API. Yeah, and I've heard that as well. I just don't have any interest in it because of all of that clutter and all those systems as well. But it's a biased opinion because it's what I just went to uni and learnt Unity, and to me there's no point doing anything else, because to me what I can grow at is just my coding knowledge, and that's where things can get better. I'm not interested in like actually learning much about the deepness of Unity. I would more be focused on making a good game and designing a good fun game or something like that. So it's not as important for me. What's important is that I just like feel at home, you know, that I'm used to it. But yeah, it's interesting. And is Blueprints what the drag and drop interaction action like that interface? Sort of, is that what that is? Where it's like, do this, if this, do that sort of logic system, but with like nodes and yeah, the drag. Okay, yeah, Blueprints. That's what that. Okay, good to know actually, because I wasn't sure what it was called or anything. Blueprints are much more fleshed out than Unity's visual script. Oh yeah, Unity's visual scripting is weird. Yeah, no. No way, yeah. Yeah, API is very loose, isn't it? Because API could mean, like, say, a program that lets you run a Python script. Like there's a Python API, and there's like, you know, Unity's an API, but then you can also be making an API within that, can't you? An API within an API, within an API, within an API. It's still C++, but abstracts away a lot of things that scare people about C++, like pointers, memory management, references, and null pointers. Yeah, true. Which, yeah, no, that is very all scary stuff. I remember all that stuff. For sure. And because it's C++ as well. Yeah. And I think that's the thing for me. I never really thought about even considering going to Unreal, because I was like, well, I'm just so used to C# and like I could learn and change things, but like I don't have the time to do that. Like, you know, I got to just move on and use what I got, you know. And yeah, you do it for a living as well, don't you, Ramen? Which, like, C++ is the industry standard for a lot of things, though I've heard a lot of the time, though, in certain industries, C# is the industry standard, which throws a lot of people off, because a lot of people just assume it's C++. Yeah, very good at my job, so I know way too much about Unrealisms and C++. Well, yeah, what do you do, Ramen, exactly? Because you said you work within Unreal Engine, right? But it doesn't sound like directly on games. It sounds like more, I don't know, magical or something. I don't know. We're going down the waterfall. We're going down the waterfall. I do machine learning for advanced game AI at the moment. Wow. I can't discuss any projects I work on, but you definitely know the company I work for? Really? Really, Ramen? Whoa, that's cool. For advanced... I do machine learning for advanced game AI at the moment. Advanced game... Okay. Well, you're going to make me start guessing. Obviously, you know, you can't tell us whether we're right or not, but... That's cool. That's awesome. Machine learning for... That's what I'm trying to think what game companies have been doing stuff with that, because there's been a couple. I mean, I can imagine it. I imagine you might be like working with like Microsoft or with CD Projekt, really? Wow, that's awesome, Ramen. Ooh. I was working for Keen on Enshrouded. Really? Wow, okay. And so you're now working for CD Projekt Red. Cool. Yeah, so no, because they would be working on some new projects. I imagine, I think, what did they talk? There was something they said, something about what they want to do. I'm not sure if they're going back to Witcher again or something. Because what happened, was it Iron Wolf Studios, or who's the other studios that a couple of the develop, like the team split off from, I think, right? I can't remember the name of them though. That's cool, man. Good luck with all that. Yeah. Witcher in a new Cyberpunk is coming up. Yeah, that's what I thought. So both are in the works, I guess. Yeah. I mean, well, that's kind of what has been said, I guess, right? It's been rumored at. Oh, wait a minute. No, of course. The Witcher stuff isn't just rumored at. We've seen the Witcher stuff. Yeah. No. I'm just sorry. Like my brain. I just realized, no, because we saw the reveals with the like Unreal Engine with like Siri and stuff walking around. Yeah, that's public knowledge. Yeah, you're right. Is a new Cyberpunk game public knowledge as well? But I imagine there'd be other like. I'd be surprised if a Cyberpunk comes out. Like, I don't know.
The Lords of Moria have returned.
Seems like a series, like a world that how quickly they come back to, you know? Challenge is how to fit a model into a game, where the AI can learn from your playstyle, your data points, and actually adapt in real time to what you're doing. Right. Models are expensive and we cannot demand more of end user hardware, like requiring 2 GPUs. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So, I guess when you say like training AI models for that and like where you fit them and stuff, as examples, would you mean like you're fitting them within NPCs? Because that's the most obvious thing, right? It's like AI putting it into a person. But is there like what other things are there that that a model can be fitted into, like objects and stuff? You know, I imagine there's like other things in a game that you wouldn't even consider could use an AI model. You know, like I don't know, like a rock. And when you stand on the rock, it changes the way it falls. You know, like a rock could have a model in it, and every time it's stepped on, it alters something. You know, like, but it just makes me curious. Like, yeah, like what things that could be inserted into, because an NPC seems like the obvious option, and honestly, the most like corny and sort of like, option to me, because it's like that seems like the obvious thing. It's like, oh, the NPC that like talks back to me and stuff, or learns this and that, and it's like, but I feel like you would be able to implement them deeper into a game where it's not visible on the surface. It's just something in the back end that just like creates a super unique experience every time you do something. Yeah. There's two major things that the models are used for currently. One is detecting the end user's hardware and rendering the game best for them, so no one has to mess with the graphics settings anymore. Oh wow, Ramen, that is cool. Whoa, that is cool to, that would be cool to look into and research. That seems like huge technology advancement. Wicked. The second is actually the game AI moving around the finite state machines and hive pooling to an actual AI agent that controls NPCs in the game. Yeah, so linking to their machine, their state machine, right? And the choices just impacting that. Because at the end of the day, everything comes down to that with AI, with an NPC. It's just a whole lot of big state machine. But do you know what I mean? Where it's like what other like all these other little components, because it's like the AI NPC thing, like to make them slightly different and stuff. To me, it doesn't interest me as much in games, because part of what I like about games is that things you can see the lines in between things sometimes. Like you can figure out someone's mechanics and learn them and stuff, and there's still ways to manually, like looking at like, you know, Elden Ring and like Dark Souls games, there's ways to like code things to perceive and allude to randomness, but it not actually be complete AI randomness, right? But what interests me a lot with the AI stuff is like all those other uses for it, you know, to actually like enhance the game experience in a different way. It's like kind of take it to like a new creative level. Yeah, because I don't know. I think especially if it takes so many resources to do, it's like, is that really necessary then? Yeah. Basically, old NPC AI would react to if statements to do things. New NPC with AI will have a base reaction, but will modify it depending on the player. But yeah, and at the end of the day, it would still link back to that system, that state machine system, and the choices it would make there. But it's not just ifs, and that's what I'm kind of say, Rasp, is there are many other ways to sort of simulate, emulate the randomness of NPCs in code in that same way, and all games do it. You look at this guy walking around. It's not like he walks back and forward at the same speed and does the same thing if this, that. There's a lot going on there. There's some random numbers being rolled for how long he stops and he walks for. There's a radius around the area that he spawns that he's got to keep in. There's the speed he runs. Maybe there's an acceleration to it or whatever, right? It's like all those little things. Yeah. AI already does that with FSMs. FSMs are actually... What's FSMs? FSMs. What? Like food safety management systems? What? Oh, a finite state machine. Oh, right. Okay. Yep. Yeah, which I guess they kind of... Yeah, they do already do that. Inside the game is giving each player a unique experience based on what they do in a game without needing to hard code a state for all outcomes you want to predict. Yeah, that's a good point. That really summarizes what it's good at, Ramen. Finite state machines are actually super advanced, but the power of an AI-powered model inside the game is giving each player a unique experience based on what they do in a game without needing to hard code a state for all outcomes you want to / predict. And I think that's the important thing. It's like the hard code a state for an outcome, so you don't have to predict what they're going to do, which that's awesome. That's really cool. That to me, that is like taking AI and using it for the right thing. No, that is really cool, because then it, like, yeah, the concept of not having to, like, and this goes way further than this, but the concept of not having to predict what a player does is like wild, and just letting it happen. That's crazy. It's awesome. Like, that's just like the future, isn't it? It's like a PB of data. Oh, like a Petra? Is it a petabyte? Or like a, oh my god, really? Yeah, download all the, yeah, true. That's what I mean. This, like, I don't know. It's like, it's a lot. Now, I've got to get back to that guy. Alright. Peta, yes. Not Petra. Now you may be hungry. Example from last week. A certain faction in the game is controlled by one model and another faction is controlled by another model. Based on player decisions in-game, will tell the models how they need to interact with one another in-game, and it will greatly influence the story. Wow. It's cool. It's really cool. That sort of stuff, it's wild. Like, God, it is going to be so cool to just see people play it, isn't it? I feel like you never really, you'll never really know until people get to play it as well. That is so much fun. Like, that you get to, like, put that out, you know, and then sit and wait and see what happens, because you just kind of, like, you're setting things up so that any experience is kind of possible, right? I do think it's good to hold constraints on things like that as well. And that's an important part. It's like, even when you're developing a game, like I've developed a game before that was essentially the concept of being able to do anything, like an open world RPG with very basic performance, like, so, you know, basic graphics. It was like Doom-like graphics, big open world, ran really smooth, with a baseline concept of being able to kind of interact with anything in very similar ways. You know, all NPCs could give you missions, all NPCs could do the same thing, you know, that sort of thing, right? The issue with that you realize is, it's like giving everything is a problem. It's like you've got to limit things for it to be like a game, and or for it to feel fun in certain ways. You've got to kind of like, you've got to create the boundaries. If you don't create the boundaries and then there's just an edge, then you just fall off the end of the world, you know, sort of thing. Like, that's kind of, in a way. So it's like, even though you want to create freedom and anything and possibility, you actually have to be careful that you make sure you have constraints as well that just aren't annoying to people, you know? Or like the constraint, they feel like they're meant to be there. FSM and AI models is that FSM, thinking back to Skyrim, you eventually will memorize all possible outcomes of a quest. With an AI model, the quest rewards the dialogue, and even whether or not you can do the quest or changes based on your decisions. Yeah, and look, do you know what, Ramen? I don't actually necessarily think it's a good thing. And that's kind of what I was saying, is that I think for me, a lot of time, part of games is the fact that you actually can memorize and understand that. And I think there's a place for games like an AI model like that can do that, but also it's like it won't work. It wouldn't work in every game at all. Like, you know, because it's like, yeah, it's an yeah, and that's the issue. Is it's kind of like infinite, and sometimes it's like too. It's like too much. It's like, you know. Oh, you got an ad. Yes, we have ads. Ah. You're all good, Ramen. I'm waiting for you. Alright, we are... Okay, we've got to go down here, explore the kitchens. Got one level as well. Let's put that into our bleed. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry about that. We got to add it like the worst time. I did not realize. But we are back. I'm going to scroll back up and have a read through what you said, Ramen. Don't worry, I waited. So yeah, so you were saying, like, which is interesting, even we do not know what the models will do. We have to set kind of guardrails to prevent shit from getting too wild or just making stuff up, which is great. And that's kind of what I was saying. I think it may have been through the ads, but I was saying how, like, freedom's good, like, in a game, like, and it's good to, like, the whole concept of, like, whoa, I could do anything in this game is great. But for that to feel right, you actually need constraints, because freedom doesn't exist unless there is constraints, right? Freedom only exists if there is the concept of constraints. If there isn't, then there is no such thing as freedom. It's just like that, you know, sadness can only exist if happiness can exist. Like, you know, they both have to exist together. So that's kind of what I feel like with it. Like, part of the challenge is actually knowing what to cut out, like what to hide from the player in the way, and yeah, like, because a part of making games, part of animating things, part of making art, it's like it's a bit of an illusion, right? And so the trick is, it's like, how do we make this feel free? But it isn't at all, because it can't actually be, or it would actually just be a sandbox game, you know, like you know, an old school MMO sandbox Second Life or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like, if you could really do anything, there's too much to do, and it's all just based on the creativity of the people. And that's cool. That's a cool idea and for a cool project. But I think for most games, yeah, you want to balance that. But yeah. And you were saying the other cool thing about the model, and the simplest part, is going up to random NPCs and asking them, like, how do I find this quest objective, or where is this building? And any NPC will tell you as if you've asked ChatGPT how to get from Melbourne to Sydney. As in, it's just absolutely wild, like, the responses. It's so like, well, if you go up there, into the bush, into that cave, you find a bear. The bear there will tell you of a secret map. Eat the bear, become the bear, and then find the map. It's like, you know, just some random thing. Imagine making a pick-your-own-adventure game, and the game can react to the player with a personal story. The challenge is also challenging the player without making them feel like the game is impossible. Well, and look, I think it depends what you want. If you want a choose-your-own-adventure game that is an AI model, then yeah. But if you want to choose your own adventure game, it kind of needs to be static choices. That's part of a choose-your-own-adventure game, is learning things and messing up. So it really depends on the game. I don't think, like, this sort of thing can just replace and just be thrown into games everywhere. Like, I think that it's for a certain type of game, which, I mean, CD Projekt Red, or I feel like most of the games they work on are like the perfect sort of game for it, with big open world things happening, politics of different factions and areas. There's a lot going on there. But yeah. It's too deep for 4 a.m. Yeah. I hope you guys are having a bit of fun. We're gonna just I'm gonna get into some more questing and try to stop yapping about game development. But it's been a lot of fun. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Safety rails if players say crazy stuff, yeah. Yeah, the problem is making not every NPC omniscient. Like, we have to limit data. Yeah, and I think that's... I guess it's like... You know, if you give freedom to everything, say it's like... And I'm thinking about from the experience of making like that sort of RPG, where like we were kind of thinking like, we'll program every NPC super detailed, like this one thing of code, and so it can be super different for all the different ones, but they all have the same possibility. And the problem is that like, then where's the personality and stuff then? So what, do you have to make like all these multiple AI models for these different things? And then it's like, geez, like, how much have we got to get just to get some unique, you know, outcomes? Like, it's like the same thing for me. Like, I don't really like the text to speech, like WoW plugins and stuff that read stuff, because they're inconsistent. And I would prefer just not to have them at all unless it's perfect. Because, like, the inconsistent of it is just, like... It's just such a turn-off. It's like, I don't know why I'd want to use it. But I think it's great that it exists, because, like, a lot of people struggle to read dialogue. So it's a great option to have. But, personally, yeah. I'm not even much of a reader of books, right? But I still do that. Players getting AI to do and say things offensive like the Fortnite Darth Vader stuff. That was so funny. Oh man, I was playing Fortnite when that season came out. That was so good. Right now we have strict guardrails. Not sure why they don't exist in every game. Yeah, there you go. Good. Nice. Enjoy your lunch, Harold. See you in a bit. Yeah. Like saying super inappropriate words, we all know which ones. Just close the game and delete your save with a message to keep that out of our game. So, okay, so here's the problem I have then. So now these games are so based on an AI model that, like, you can't say something inappropriate and you get closed out of the game and deleted. Like, that's not right. Like, it just shouldn't let that be inputted at all. I don't know. That's... And that's where I kind of feel like if models like that impact other parts of a game, I don't think it's worth it. Like, it doesn't really feel like playing a game anymore if I'm like, you know. I don't want to be able to accidentally say a wrong word and then get my save deleted. Like, what? Talking about extremely inappropriate words that have no place being typed or said inside our game. I guess. It's like four... Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like, those 4 words are horrible. You know. I just don't know. I just don't think that's... Gets into a weird area. Because I just think, like, those 4 words to you guys, there's 4 other words to someone else that mean the same thing. So what right is it that that we decide what the 4 words are, you know? Gets into a kind of weird area. And at that point, I'm like, well, if that's what you get out of AI in games, I don't want it in my games. I just want a game. Could this technology eventually be abused and will be abused inside MMOs online games? Yeah, probably. It just feels like, yeah, like you're gonna have a constant battle that you're having to deal with fighting that, and that is not worth it. My thought is going back to old games that mostly text-based and being able to add voice to them. Yeah. These are words that people who fund our paycheck told us cannot be put into the dataset for the model. That's hilarious. No, and yeah, you can't do anything about that though, Ramen, can't you? But how corporate, how bloody... That's hilarious. Yeah. Sorry. You know, it's the ones with all the money that get to decide what words are right and wrong, you know? Alright. Yeah, sure. It's this. Honestly, Ramen, kudos to you for working within the game industry. High in the game industry, seriously. Good on you, man. Because it's... And excuse my French, it's fucking hardcore out there. And there's a reason I never wanted to go into that area. I think it takes a certain level of understanding and acceptance that, yeah, you don't make the rules, you just do what you're told. Exactly. And, you know, good on you, man, because you need to be like that, I feel like, to get into that world. Yeah. It is really, really annoying when people want to troll with the M word, for example, and now our model is just using that all over the place in game. Yeah, that's so absurd. That's what I mean. Like, the fact that that's even a... God, yeah. Like, I wouldn't even consider using that in my game unless that was solved, that solution was solved, unless there was some way to solve that, which I realistically can't think of a way to solve that, because it just feels like a constant battle. It feels like a constant, like, it's just like going to be a constant back and forth with the player. Like, people will find ways around things, you know? So I'm like, man. But I guess that's what your job's all about though, right, Ramen? Is figuring out how it works, trying to make it work. So... seriously, I wish you the best with that, and I hope you're going to create the system that is the best one, right? You are going to create the best one. I have my hope has been highly restored. Seriously. I'm more excited for the AI trend for a more Star Trek interface. I hope we don't go Doctor Who on it. Yeah, who knows? I guess I go back to the 21st hall, actually, I just realized. Yeah. I've been running around in circles for ages. That's one of the words that if it's ever typed in or used in a game to interact with the game mechanic or NPC, your save gets deleted and the data is purged. Does that not seem wrong to you? Doesn't that seem wrong? Like I get it's not like... It is really annoying people even... Like, I don't know why people would even want to use that, but like... Yeah, okay. Everything else I don't care. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just like, I feel like, because it goes back to me saying like that, like certain words mean certain things for different people. And that's like a perfect example of that, right? But it has a different meaning online and like it's a word that's become like just not used online at all, you know, in that way. But I don't know. I just think like, what are we doing at this point? Are we making a video game? Or... I don't know. It's like deleting someone's save and purging a game. I just don't... That just seems like a pretty wild thing to do. But I guess what else do you do? I don't know. What else do you do? But, yeah. Because like, you could essentially just ban someone from it. It's like if you imagine it's like an MMO environment. It's like if you think of things like an MMO, if you were to say stuff like that in an MMO, you get banned. Yeah, obviously. So yeah. I guess it's just taking that same thing and like moving it into like single player games that, yeah, I don't know. Players can pick, not for that word, there's 4 total, players can pick another word. But that's not the point I'm making, Ramen. It's the point. The point of suppressing words. It doesn't matter what the words are. I just think that that's a bit like, it just causes, there's just a lot of issues within that. I wouldn't bother with using AI if it meant all of that. That seems like, yeah, just interacting with the internet. I don't want to interact with, I want to have my own experience. I don't want to have the experience that is essentially a combination and average of everyone's experience all in the world, which is what AI is, you know, everything all mashed together. I just want my own experience, so I don't know.
The shadow of Mordor will not long.
Yeah, you can get banned from online games the same way. Yeah.
Welcome to
Definitely. Definitely. And I guess that's the thing, isn't it? Because and look, and hear me out here, because the AI model is itself online. So it's the exact same thing. If someone was to say a word in an MMO, you get banned, you can't say that word. But yeah, like the model, if someone says those words into, the model now is sending that to everyone else. So it's the same way as like a world chat. It's like if you say a bad word in the world chat, other people will see it. And so a game doesn't want other people to see it because that's bad. So they ban you and they get rid of you. If you say it to the AI model, other people will see it because then the AI model starts to call people that word or whatever. Then so they ban you. So it makes sense. It makes complete sense to me. It's like the exact same thing, right? Like, yeah. But to me, I don't see the point in using AI then. To me, I don't see the point. It doesn't seem to me, yeah. AI is such a small little 1% component of a video game for me. It's like this additional little thing that can enhance. That's all it is to me. So yeah. Yeah, no, but that makes complete sense why you guys would have to do that and how it would work. And it seems like a bit of a wild thing, like delete your save, close the game or whatever. But I guess what else do you do? Like, you know, that's essentially what happens in like an MMO. You get banned. It's kind of like deleting your save. So it's just, I think it seems a bit like drastic the way it sounds, but it's not really, right? But yeah, I get the point you're making, and I respect that point of freedom of speech. But the opposite side of that coin is that we need to make a game that can be marketed to the widest possible audience. Yeah, and that's just a corporate. That's your producers, your corporate mentality. That's it. You know, you're not getting anything out of that, Ramen. They're making all the money out of that by spreading it to everyone all around the world. Like, so yeah. They win in that situation. So they decided to just put some strict minimum guardrails in place to prevent some extreme worst case scenarios for people. Yeah, good. Yeah, I think, yep, that makes sense. I agree about the censoring of extreme words, yeah. Although it can be a bit of a bottomless pit. That's what I think. It's a bottomless pit. Like, it doesn't... yeah, it just seems like a PR issue to even go down that road. Why would you even put yourself in that position? But you're creating the problem as well. At the same time, you're it's like you're creating the problem that you then deal with, sort of thing. Yeah. And people will find a way to abuse it as well. So you're always going to be fighting. technology, yeah. And that's the thing, Ram, and that's why I guess I'm saying that's your job, isn't it? Is to find how it can work and what we're talking about. And man, good luck to you, bro. Like I said, you're going to be the one to do it. You'll find the way. You'll find the right one. You know, I believe in you. That's awesome. This is an MMO. We can't just review your chat log and ban you. You have an actual model in your game being trained against what you do and say. We can't let you just run away with the model and turn your gameplay into Nazi Germany meets slave trade. Well, I guess my question is the model shared between people or it's not? So it's your own personal model, right, in a way, that you're influencing and changing. So it doesn't actually impact other people at all. Right. Yeah. Okay. Because that's, and I think, I guess, yeah, a bit of railing is kind of good there, but it's a single player game. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know.
You've done well.
It's the whole that gets me.
You should help my dwarves unearth
Because it's
the
just
buried
like,
chamber
where
of
does this
Uruk-hai.
end? It doesn't end. Hey Raider, welcome in. Welcome in. How you going? What conversation did I walk into? A lot of conversation about video games, game development, and AI. I think AI in video games. That's mainly what we've been talking about. Hope you're doing well though, Raider. It's good to see you. It's a personal model, but we will update it in patches. Yeah, okay. That would be Conan, yeah. I just think that players will find the way to do things. Like, you say, like, you know, we can't just let you run away with and turn your playthrough into Nazi Germany meets slave trade. I mean, it's like, people do that, though. Like, it's as absurd as it is. Like, modding Skyrim with crazy, insane stuff. And, like, you know, people will find a way, always, right? So I guess it's like... I guess in a way you kind of want to let players have a bit of wildness with that, but restrict those really bad ones. Let chaos ensue. Yeah, ensue. Yeah, it's like because you want to distract the players with, like, those sorts of players are always going to do that, right? So you want them to have a bit of something they can do, you know? It's like, we'll allow nudity for mods, but we won't allow hate and all this stuff, you know? It's like just a little bit of chaos. So all those people can go have fun with all that, and then the actual stuff is completely banned and blocked and all that, you know? The really bad stuff. Yeah, I guess... Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it was your own personal game, like, I don't care, do what you want. But it's not my game and we have to implement the guardrails that management wants. Oh, yeah, like, it's not your game, like, you've got to do what the producers... Yeah, of course. Oh, man. Yeah. And let me go back to kind of what I was saying before. Don't let me ever think that I'm ever judging you on the behalf of a company. You know, it's like what I was saying, like, you are... Kudos to you for going into this industry, because part of working in the game industry in a big company like that is realizing that you just have to do things as they're wanted. You just, like, you're a bit of a, you know, you're a machine. You just do your thing, but you get to do some really fun stuff within that. You get to do really innovative things, but the structure of those companies works so finite with each other that you have to just be a cog in the system. So yeah, I think it's very... I say that because I've had lots of friends, uni friends and stuff, that have gone down that road and it's been really hard. It's been, you know, and they haven't gotten to where they wanted to. And I very early on knew my goals, and I was like, I don't actually want to learn how to make games to join a company. I want to learn how to make games for myself, for my own hobby, for my own fun. And it kind of just went a bit further from that, you know? But I realized very early that I didn't actually want that out of, like, that career because it would kind of kill it for me. In the same way as if I went and took my music love and went and became an artist and just played the same 10 songs, you know, pubs or, you know, whatever. It's like the same thing for me. Yeah. You just wanted to become Redhorn Online Toxic Days. They're being super liberal with what you can and cannot do. A lot of us are surprised. Yeah, that's interesting. And I guess it goes back to that thing is that I guess the right thing is to give players some freedom there with some wildness, but really restrict the big stuff. Because if you just restrict it all, then people will break through that. Those sort of people will just try. They're going to do it anyway, you know? So at least set the trap for them. Artists are currently working on dynamic models that let us literally rip people's clothes off and have them react to it. Wow. What? That's kind of wild. So yeah, it's like, what? Why is that allowed, but then other things aren't? It's like, jeez. A closed damage system has not been done for a long time. Maybe because is it really necessary? Don't think it is.
Something collapsed the roof of this chamber. I know not what.
You're gonna carry this YouTube sword. For some people, yes. Well, for some people that, you know, aren't just horny by the sounds of it, because it sounds like just horny people want clothes to be ripped off. That's it. Lots of stuff's been done with the power of predictive AI, super realistic combat. AI combat would be scary. Oh, that scares me to even consider like fighting like a full AI model like Dark Souls boss. Like that'd be cool. It'd be cool, but it'd be gimmicky as well. I don't actually think it'd be good. I think like it'd be like a wild. Brought in doctors to teach us how to implement a skeletal system to simulate broken bones and actual wounds. Yeah, you have to get to, you know, you got to get to the baseline of everything. That's. Think of armor pieces being ripped off. Now they have to change stances to cover the hole. Well, but that exists already. That's already a thing. Like in plenty of games. I don't think it needs to be like so dynamically wild that like one little patch of thing can come off. It's like you're not playing a video game, you're just playing like a simulator, a real life simulator. I don't know. 200 hours of players fighting it. AI agent was too good to beat your ass. You always have to hard nerfs any actual model. Yeah. Wow. Because they start stupid and dumb and you're like, and then after a while the predictions for what you do next become so good and so fast you cannot possibly react to it. Oh my god. What does that make me think of? What is that? Is that like a Doctor Who episode or something? Isn't it when they like mimic what you're doing? And it's like they do the same thing as what you're doing, but then they keep doing it, and then they're doing it at the same time as you, and then they're doing it ahead of you. And then they start like, they're like thinking ahead. I feel like that's from something like that, like, or maybe like Black Mirror or something like that. I love, like, wait, it's the episode on the Diamond Planet, wait. With the Merlin actor. Wait, which one? Diamond. Yeah, it is that one, right? The diamond, yes. Yeah, diamond. Okay, yeah. Diamond. I was like, where is Diamond? Yes, with the Merlin actor. Yeah, no, that it's literally that. It's like they're copying it, and then they predict it so much, and then they learn, and then they can predict the move stuff. Oh, scary. What's Doctor Who? You get out a sniper rifle and the AI runs to cover and counter snipes you to a better aim. Yeah, well, it's like you get out your sniper and you use die. It's like he's just already there ready because he's like, yep, no, I'm ready to go. It is a creepy episode. Oh. In Marvel, Taskmaster can memorize heroes' moves and copy them. Ooh. Ah, yeah, true. Yep. That whole episode was basically one set, and it's one of the best episodes, really. And wait, you were saying with the Merlin actor, do you mean the old, like, do you mean Gaius? Not Merlin himself. Was it the Gaius, his, like, mentor? Oh, Merlin himself. Oh, okay. What was it called? Like a Diamond Planet Doctor Who episode. Hey, Ganto, thank you for the hydrate check. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ganto. He plays the emo teenager. Yes. Sip, 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 sip. Yeah, I'm remembering it now. Man, I haven't watched Doctor Who in so long. I've been going back to like a lot of old TV shows and series that I watched like a long time ago and been watching. Just need something to go to sleep to, you know. Popping in quickly before bed. Have a great stream. Appreciate it, Ganso. Thanks for popping in. Hope you have a good sleep, man. Have a good sleep. Were you streaming today? I don't think you were, right? No. Nice day off. You deserve it, man. Awesome event, by the way, man. The hide and seek event. I wish I had the energy to stay longer, but it was nice being able to actually jump in and do a bit and then jump out, you know. But it was a lot of fun. It was really good. Okay. Bozzie's outside, I think. All right. My first Doctor was Tom Baker, the fourth Doctor. Tom Baker, that's who I think it is, right? Oh, Tom Baker. Oh, OG fourth Doctor, right? Really? Oh, wow. That's awesome. I don't think I've ever seen any Tom Baker. Who was the first one I watched? Was it Eccleston? Christopher Eccleston? Is that the guy? Or am I thinking of something else? Yeah, Christopher Eccleston. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm a young lad, but I went back and watched from the very beginning. Like, oh, sorry, not from the very beginning, I should say. God, that's going to offend so many people. Not from the very beginning, as in from... I went back and watched, like, I hadn't really ever watched much Doctor Who, and I went back to, like, a beginning. Yeah. Eccleston was, Christopher Eccleston? Yeah. I really like Christopher Eccleston. But David Tennant is my... David Tennant's my boy. Introduced with Matt Smith, fell in love with David Tennant, and then never bothered with the rest until the last guy. True, yeah. I know Alette is a big Matt Smith enjoyer. That's because she was watching lots of Doctor Who when she was younger, when Matt Smith was aired. Chad Gallad has escaped the hell of Moria. Left a little present for the dwarves in the 21st hall. Oh, I just stepped on it, man. Oh, man. I've been running in circles around the 21st hall this whole time. I'm trying to get into LOTRO. Do people do dungeons and raids together, or is it more of a solo game? It is more of a solo game, but there is definitely environments for that. God, this music is just blasting, isn't it, guys? A lot of people play it very solo. The good part is when you're leveling, like you can go back and do old sort of stuff, but I will say it's not like WoW where you doing dungeons while you're leveling is like a normal thing to do, really. It's not as normal. Most people don't do dungeons while leveling. Yeah, as Ramen says as well, most of the instances that people do and grind are max level stuff, or people that are max level go back and do old stuff to get their deeds, because a big grind in the game at endgame is your virtue log and getting all these to max, which is like the crazy reach goal at the end. And to do that, you got to do all your deeds. So like, you got to do lots of deeds. So there's people go back and they do dungeons, like old dungeons, to get deeds and achievements kind of finished. So there is a lot of like people that will do it, and you can find kinships that do things regularly, like do dungeons regularly, but it's not in the same way like with WoW and other games where you can just be like leveling and you're level 20 and then you can find a group for like dead mines and there's lots of groups running, that sort of thing. It's not like, it doesn't really happen as much. It happens more on the legendary servers, I believe, mainly because people are more condensed into a level cap, but yeah. As a bit of an idea though, LOTRO is kind of whatever you want it to be in a way, in that sort of way. If you really like doing that sort of stuff, you can make it work. Yeah, welcome into the chat as well, Basic Concept. As well, for anyone that's interested, well, I haven't plugged or mentioned or anything, but we do have a Discord server. If any of you guys are interested in knowing when I'm like streaming, I do put updates up on the... Did that not work? What? Well, okay, I do put updates up on my Twitch. What? Stream Elements? Hello, Stream Elements. Okay, sorry. I think I was getting a heap of lag then. Yeah, if you're interested, come join the Discord. We have a little server there. If you have any questions about Lord of the Rings or anything like Lord of the Rings Online, we do have like a Lord of the Rings chat there. And a heap of people in the community that know a lot about the game and are always happy to help as well. So, yeah, feel free to jump in if you are interested. And yeah, let's see here. All right. You got all your virtues to max, Harold. Oh, nice. They're all at 100. Sweet. Matt Smith was your first Doctor. Peter Capaldi was great, yeah. Yeah, David Tennant's just beautiful. I just can't get past. He's amazing. Yeah, I agree. See, Raider, I'm with you. Except I also kind of just like... Matt Smith, actor... Not, whoa! It's Death! Hey, Death. Ah! We love David Tennant, yeah. Seen a few Capaldi episodes and he's fun. We just never had the DVDs. True. Because I really liked it when Matt Smith became Capaldi. Like, that did something for me that made him really like... That made me like Matt Smith more, actually. The end of Matt Smith was a lot more, but early Matt Smith, like, was just, like... I don't know. Yeah, I think the stories I liked a lot more in David Tennant. They were a bit more like, it felt more like dark fantasy, and then some of the Matt Smith ones felt more like sort of teen fantasy. I don't know. But it's been a long time. Who knows more, a heap of people in the community or Az? Yeah. Yeah. He knows all. OBS chat lags sometimes. I pop out the chat in a browser to avoid that. Oh, okay. True. Yeah, like as a separate browser source. Maybe I'll try doing that. I like having it in... that's the thing. Because I have it using custom docs, though. Which I thought... But... Yeah, it's I used to have it both of them out in separate windows as well. That it's like annoys me. It's really like it's annoying all the different things being open. It's not too bad though. It doesn't seem to hiccup too much. I make sure I also have copied it from within my stream manager, and it seems to work a lot better rather than from the chat itself. Russell T Davies is my goat. True. Oh, was he the writer? Screenwriter, producer. True. I found Matt Smith had a lot more horror thriller elements, which I didn't like as much as the fantasy vibes from David, but I've actually grown on the horror genre, so maybe I should give Matt a rewatch. See, but I found it like teen horror though. It wasn't like David Tennant. The David Tennant horror stuff was just felt like old school, just nice, like classic horror, like alien horror sort of stuff, like real corny stuff, which I kind of like. But the Matt Smith's horror stuff, I don't know, it was just like Fear Factor-y, like, you know, ooh, spooky. But there's some really good ones, like the Weeping Angels. Yeah, there is some really, really good episodes within those, I will say. I just think for me, there's a lot of, I think it was a lot of filler, like a lot in between. I don't remember much because it didn't really like hit with me. But yeah. Hey! How you going, Death? Good to see you, man. How's the adventures going? Oh, I see Chicken Little and Parrot D are having a good time there. Such a friendly, cuddly looking one when you're in your bear form. I just want to pat him, don't you guys? Don't you want to just give him a big cuddle? You could do with a big cuddle. Oh, come here, come here, come here. Oh. All right. Talk to. I've got to go to the Orc Watch. We have to go make sure we take revenge on Hugh Jackman today. Actually, before I yap too long. I've got to go this way. All right. Good day to your death. Okay. The chicken dance is going to get nerfed in the next patch? No!
Greetings, friend. Are you lost?
Blink is my second favorite arc. Oh, Blink is awesome. Only behind turn left. Oh, good. And Stow. Oh, yeah. Ah. I think I'm going to have to go. Wait, do you want to watch through Doctor Who again, Alette? I think it's been decided. After we watch The Office. Yeah. Discord TV show night. That could be cool. Do a regular. I did see, because I was thinking about it, like about the legalities of all of it. Actually, I was kind of like, oh god, actually, now think about it. But then the other day, like like Slack Jeff was like, "Yep, we're doing our weekly TV show watching in the Discord," and I was like, "Oh, cool. All right, other people do it. All right, doesn't matter." I thought it was cool. He's doing a watch party for the new like Game of Thrones like universe show. Every episode that comes out, which is cool.
Great events have been set in motion.
Rasp Picard, nice talking with you. I'm going to head out and start the day 5 a.m. soon. Wow, so you're up and ready to go for the day. You woke up for that. Wow. Well, I hope you have a lovely day, Russ. Thank you so much for popping by and sticking around. And thank you to all the raiders for sticking around, and the raid as well, of course. I appreciate it so much, Vera. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. It's been lovely chatting. We do this all the time. 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, a couple of days a week is when we stream.
The best craftsmen were once found in Khazad-dû. Soon they shall be again.
If it's just on Discord, I think there's no issue. There is slightly, but it's a grey area. I've looked into it all. Yeah. We just don't talk about it, and then it's all good.
If it were not for the prospect of finding Mithril, I would not have come here.
It's a really funny grey area because it's like technically it is illegal to share because you're sharing something to other people, like, but technically watching a movie on the couch with your mates is then illegal. So so it's not, you know? It's like it's really weird, like, sort of, yeah. But yeah, we're gonna do our Discord movie night soon as well, guys. I'm so sorry that I've been delayed with all of that, but don't worry, like it's not going away. I figured it as well that it's like it doesn't matter if we take a bit of time to sort out a time for it, because we'll have one shot. Like we got one time to organize this thing, you know. We'll do more things like that in the future, but yeah. And so I guess while we're on that topic as well, and a lot of you guys are here, our last sub goal that we had, so we currently have a sub goal at the moment for 25 subs, which is our community games night. We're going to do like a full night of community games, do like a couple of different games. I've got no idea what games we want to do. I'd like to do a couple of different things, jump around, this and that. But our last goal that we hit was a Discord movie night. And so we're actually going to organize and watch a movie together on Discord. And because we're all Lord of the Rings lovers, and it's also been the 25th anniversary of Lord of the Rings, what other better thing to do than watch the extended 3-movie trilogy over a whole day on Discord? So I'm going to organize that soon. And we're probably going to do it on a weekend. I'm thinking like a Saturday, and I'm thinking we will start... I haven't really figured out start time, but it will be like, 12 hours, right? It's something around that, right? I think the full 3 movies. So yeah, like, people can jump in and jump out if you want to, but we're just going to have the movie running all day, in the stream. I'll be in there the whole time watching, maybe doing some work while I'm watching. And it'll just be kind of like set up so we can jump in, and we'll have a little text chat in there as well, so we can talk about things, and everyone can say, "Oh my God, look, it's Vigo's broken toe" when he kicks the helmet, and yeah, all the good stuff. But I figured that'd be fun, rather than like watching just like a random movie. Like, there's not a lot of us around on the Discord, so. Want to do it for you guys, whatever you guys feel. We haven't really had too much sort of talk about it, of what you guys might be interested in. So I feel like Lord of the Rings is pretty solid. I hope I woke up for the day. The other choice is bad. Yeah, the other choice is bad, Raspcard. Yep. Oh, all good, Radar, with your techie issues. No problem, no problem. Isn't it more if no one said anything, it didn't happen? If a tree falls in a forest? Yeah, it's kind of like that. Right. And yeah, and Discord is technically is against it. But they can't do anything about it.
It is said that during
So yes, no more shall be said about it, and it shall be done. You're all good, Radar, as well. You are all good.
Balin came, but we have heard no word from him. I doubt that Lord Balin still lives. What foul and nameless things we face in Moria, I know not.
Alright.
Toast our victory against the Orcs of Moria.
Alright, we just cleaned up all of Raman's poop that he left all over Mines of Moria. I'm sure there's plenty more still around all over the ground. But you know, the things we do, right, for the people we care about. I guess. Alright, down here. Oh, our virtue cap maxed out. Get some Valor. Alright. Into the Redhorn Lodes. Now, I don't mind the Redhorn Lodes. It's a bit of an easy area to do. I've got actually... Let's lock in and get some quick questing done, because you can be very efficient in this area. Oh man, I gotta look out for Rich Khazad Skarn. Alright. Let's get some lighting as well. Okay. Alright. Do do do. Do, 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 do. This light is slightly too bright. Should we go down like one more setting? Memorial cover. Okay. More orcs and more. Oh, these guys. Ah, perfect. Ah, just out of time, damn it. Alright, done. Ah, damn it, we didn't get our